Unfinished business, therefore, what I say is they're leftovers that we carry with ourselves of a hit that happened during our childhood. The traumatic work that we do could be past, could be longitudinal, could be progressive, could be linear, could be present oriented, but they're all in the same direction. So every work is trauma work. All work is trauma work. So when the client comes, there are two major things we will do with this client. Two major things. First, we will try to finish this business in their augmentation from the family system origin point of view. Yeah. So growing up, let's say the child felt my father is not available to me. So how is the father not available? Was the father not available emotionally? Was the father not available functionally? Or was the father not available physically? So when one of our major archetype goes missing in our growing up stage, the impact of that leaves a horrible dent in our understanding of the world through this worldview. The very first understanding of this world is through the window of masculinity and femininity. This is not gender. The way we interact with the masculinity, the way we interact with femininity, we learn that in the first 10 years through our caregivers. And during that period, there can be emotional hit, physical hit, or functional hit. So in today's times, the behaviors that you have, coping behaviors, do you smile too much with certain people? Do you do extra with certain people? Do you please some type of people more than the others? Are you intimidated by some people more than the others? Well, all this is coming because you learned to survive that world by this behavior. And because you learned to survive that world with this behavior, you kept this behavior and you continue to see this world through that behavior. And I want you to look at life and say, how is your relation with romantic partners? How is your relation with your company bosses or team leaders? Is there a commonality you find in the way you respond to these people? Do you always please them? Do you have difficulty in being assertive with them? Are you always uptight with them? Are you controlling them always? Or do you feel you're giving in a lot? Do you think you're doing too much to achieve for them? Do you think you seek that validation? Do you think validation gets you going? Or do you think you're always in a sorry figure that life is not happening? What is your story that you keep telling? What is that story that you keep telling over and over and over again? What patterns do you see over and over again? That impact that happened, that hit that happened, could be abusive, could be abandonment, could be hurt, could be breakup, could be grief, could be loss. But because of that, a particular behavior is not available to you going ahead. And because of that, the whole identity changed. The identity changed because you were forced to assume some roles. And because you were forced to assume some roles, the other roles became inaccessible to you. Well, as a child, you didn't have a choice but to choose what was given to you in your plate. But we forgot when we grew up, and we still continue the child strategy to survive this world. The problem is not that the inner child is not healed. Well, that's one angle to look at it. But the way I would look at it, or what Dick told us, is it's not the presence of the inner child, or it's not the absence of the healing to the inner child that's creating the problem. The problem, the disparity and the dysfunctionality in the relationship is because the inner adult is missing, which means you did not grow up. It's the absence of the inner adult. It's not the presence of the healing that the child has not received. The child cannot receive healing if the adult is missing. The child doesn't have the volition. The child never had choice points. The child never could have, which is why the child took on those children strategies to please, to kiss ass, to be scared, to show I'm helpless, to survive. The adult has. So it's time to look at life, and the inner affirmation or the therapy work that we do is to restore that family system and then to claim intimacy back. Intimacy is an adult feature. If you don't claim intimacy back, you're going to be a child again. Okay. So the work is to develop the inner adult. And without developing the inner adult, if you start healing the child, hey, the child is going to get hurt again because the child cannot take care of itself, even if it is healed today. So the step one is to develop the inner adult.